Welcome back, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Boynton, and we're going to play a game called Be a Mind Reader. This is a word wall game, and to play it, you have to look at the word wall. So get your eyes ready for that. And also to play it, you're going to need a sticky note with your name at the top. And you need to number that sticky note 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So get that ready and pause the video until you're ready with your sticky note so we can play Be a Mind Reader. Okay, to play this game, you're going to try and read my mind. I'm going to pick one word on the word wall, and you get 5 guesses to try and figure out what the word is that I am thinking of. Do you see that headband I'm wearing? That is my mind vibe sending headband. So that headband helps send all my mind vibes out to you so you can read my mind. Okay, here's the first clue to what my word is. It's a word on the word wall. Now, next to number 1 on your sticky note, write your guess right here. Don't write the word guess. Write the word wall that you think I'm thinking of. Okay, I'm going to send my mind vibes out to you. Okay, what word do you think I'm thinking of? Write it next to number 1. Okay, here's a rule for this game. You cannot change number 1. You have to keep it. And you're allowed to change your guess, but only on number 2. Number 1 cannot be erased. It stays there forever. The only reason you could erase it is if you accidentally spelled it wrong. So look at the word wall right now and make sure you spelled number 1 wrong. And you can erase it if you spelled it wrong. All your words need to be spelled correctly to play this game properly. Okay, here's clue number 2. The word I'm thinking of has an E in it. So look at your guess for number 1. If your guess has an E in it, you should write that same word again next to number 2 on your sticky note. If the word you wrote for number 1 does not have an E in it, don't change number 1. That's against the rules. But write a new guess for number 2. So, for number 2, you could write the same guess, or you can write a different guess. You might have the same word both times if the first word had an E in it. If the first word did not have an E in it, you've written a different word for number 2. Make sure you spell it correctly by looking at the word wall. Remember, it's a word on the word wall and it has an E in it. Your guess has to have both those things true for it. Okay, here's clue number 3. Clue number 3, it has more than 5 letters. Look at your word. If your word has 5 letters, or 4 letters, or 3 letters, or 2 letters, then you have to change your guess. But don't erase. You're not allowed to erase. But you're going to write a new guess for number 3. Okay, so now you should have 3 words on your sticky note. It might be the same word 3 times. If the word is on the word wall, it has an E in it, and it's more than 5 letters. If the first word you chose has all those things true, then you should have the same guess written all 3 times. However, you might need to change your guess this time if your word that had an E in it does not have more than 5 letters. Now you need to pick a new word on the word wall that has an E and is more than 5 letters. So look at the word wall and pick one. Pause the video if you need more time. Make sure you spell it correctly. Find a word on the word wall that has an E in it and has more than 5 letters. And get your guess written for number 3. Here comes the clue for number 4. The clue is, it's in the first half of the alphabet. Now the alphabet is 26 letters long, so the first half would be letters 1 through 13, which means A through M. So if you look on the word wall, it's going to be between A and M. If the word you have written down is after M, like it starts with an N or it starts with an S, you have to change your guess. But remember, you can't change old guesses. You have to leave them. But you can write a new guess for number 4. Alright, so look at the first half of the alphabet, A through M. Find a word on the word wall that has an E in it, that has more than 5 letters. That is what should be written as your guess for number 4. Now, if you want to keep the same guess you've had all along because all those things are true for your first guess. You can keep it. But you might need to change it if you picked a word that's in the second half of the alphabet. Pause the video and then write until your guess is written for number 4. Okay, here's clue number 5. Clue number 5 is a fill in the blank sentence. You have to figure out which word word that follows all the clues so far fills in this blank. Here it is. Do you think we will get blank snow to have a snow day? Does the word you have written for number 4 make sense in this blank? If it does, you should write it again for number 5. If the word you have written for number 4 does not make sense in this blank, then you need to look at the word wall, find a word with an E in it that's in the first half of the alphabet that has more than 5 letters that make sense in this blank. Do you think we will get blank snow to have a snow day? Copy the word from the word wall carefully. Make sure you're spelling it correctly. This is a spelling activity. And write it for number 5. Okay, if you have followed directions correctly, you have 5 guesses written for what word was in my mind. Now, here's how I'll know if you read my mind or not. You will have the same word written all 5 times with no eraser marks. If you have the same word written 5 times with eraser marks, then I'm going to suspect that you're a cheater. So don't do that. I'm not going to give rewards to people who cheat. But I will be looking to see who wrote guesses that make sense and spelled the words correctly. That's the most important part, not if you read my mind or not. Are you ready to find out what word was in my mind? The word in my mind was, 2-finger drum roll, the word was enough. Okay, I want you to underline each letter in enough on your sticky note to make sure you spelled it correctly. You should have enough written at least once on number 5 because I made it pretty easy by number 5, right? So let's spell enough. Underline each letter. I'm going to look to see who underlined. Spell it. E-N-O-U-G-H. Enough. Thanks for playing Be a Mind Reader with me. I hope you had fun. We'll play it again some other time. Bye-bye.